Good morning, everybody. How are you all doing today? I love that you can just, like... Give me a second. My thing is being a pain in the butt. Why is it doing that? Okay, that fixed it. The wonders. Hey, Disconnect. Hope you're doing well today. I hope you're all well today, and if not, I do hope things get better. It is Friday, and it doesn't feel like one. It has been incredibly busy. Lots of stuff to do. But I know I'm excited to get into a bit of balloons. I know we got a new map with the new update and stuff. All sorts of stuff to do. God, I don't even know where to start. It's been a bit since I last played balloons. Let's start with attack shooter. But yeah, since I last played, a lot has happened in balloons. With new updates, etc. I know we got like a new hero that's paid through money from the He-Man collection, but I have a feeling we're probably going to get access to it through a different skin of sorts, probably. At least eventually. But it's another sword hero. Like, overall, like, there's just been a lot. But yeah, oh my gosh. With all the busyness and stuff, it's been so hard to get stuff done for, like, balloons, etc. Welcome back, Disconnect. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I wish I could turn off ads, but that would mean losing all, like, of my Twitch viability stuff. Which, not fun. But honestly, it's better than it could be. It's kind of crazy. I know I do it at the least amount needed so that you don't get them when you first join in. Because 3 minutes every hour to 3:30 every hour on average, because they change the time stuff, isn't bad, thankfully. It could be worse. The fact that there's people that do like over 20 minutes an hour still boggles me, because that's like insane, because it's like, I believe the max is like 22:30 or something, which is like, that's like that's over a third of the hour dedicated to ads. Like, I'll never understand people who do that. I just do the least amount I need to actually get away with not doing stuff. No, I don't play Xbox in general, so I do not have the Game Pass for Xbox. You know, I remember the version of this map that used to exist from the original BTD, and like, it would, if I remember correctly, the original map, it came out of these eyes and went around on both sides. It was really fun. But I have been keeping an eye on like what's been going on with some of the Xbox stuff, and I think the craziest thing I saw was the fact that the new CEO outright mentioned how bad the last CEO was, etc. And that they are actually going, like, they have to work back to fix everything. And it really makes me surprised, because it's like, holy crap, they're actually being transparent with people about this. Because that's not something you really see, especially from companies nowadays. Like, you don't see a lot of, like, big corporation companies being honest. Like, one of the things is they probably won't be able to make enough Xboxes for everyone because of the prices of all the parts. Because it's been rising steadily due to AI. And, like, it's not something you expect them to outright say. Stardew Valley and Grounded. I've never played Grounded because I have bad arachnophobia. But yeah, I like survival games and stuff. It's what got me into some of the various games I've played recently. Like, I know I have my own varied stuff. Like, I'm not normally a shooter person, but there's always going to be exceptions, and vice versa. Like, because there's some games I've played that just made me go, really? But then there's others that are just really fun, and honestly, I do want to try more of those types of games. Do 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 do. Honestly, the fact that this is an easy map is like, damn. Is there anything I can, like, click? Maybe the bird nest? I honestly don't know if there's a secret on this map or not, but it'd be cool if there is, and I just don't know about it. It also could be like spa pits in the tar pits where you can't tell until you start a new one, which is possible. Yeah, this tack sprayer alone is just gonna carry us. Berserker Brew, make it even stronger. Look at this tack sprayer. I mean, if Solarpunk is on Steam, I'll look at it. With eyes in the skull. That kind of shows up at the very beginning. From what I have seen. I can show you. Because we're gonna have to go through all of these anyway, because I do want to black border this map today, if possible. So we're starting easy. See? You got the eyes right here whenever you start. I think it's to show that they're portals. Oh? Well, you can do that. Hey, Mundo. Hope you're doing well. You know what? Let's use Desperado. Yeah, it's been a while. Eagle Eye, Bullseye, Quick Draw. Let's go top path. I love the Desperado. I'm so glad we finally got a cowboy monkey. Like, even all this time later since its release. Yeah, you've been here. I remember a lot of people who, like, join in and stuff. Does it? I actually haven't looked at my tags in so long that I genuinely don't know. Because I honestly forgot about it. Because, yeah, I don't think I've touched my tags in, like, years. Almost. Oh my god. Give me a sec. There we go. I had to fix my mic thing because it reset. I was like, why is my character staying with that? That's why. I actually got to see a little bit into what makes it work. But yeah, I know, God. I'll need to fix that if I remember. But yeah, I know, in general, I haven't touched those in so long. Because, I mean, I just forget about them, in all honesty. The tags are just something that are kind of inconsequential in terms of, like, actual stuff for me. Where it's like, I kind of have them, where it's like, yeah, this is stuff I planned to add, etc. And I just haven't changed them since. Definitely should fix it, though. Can I fix them while I'm streaming? That is a real question. Open link in new tab. Let's see if I can do that. Maybe in this. Oh yeah, I did spell it wrong. we go. I can actually fix it while on stream. So that's not too bad. We're getting... How are you all doing today? I hope you're well, and if not, I do hope things are getting better. I'm debating if I want to wait for Twin Sixes. I mean, Twin Sixes should fix a part of the problem, to be fair. God, I've missed this game for quite a while. There's so many games I've been meaning to go back to, but with just everything going on, it's been busy, busy, busy. It's also one of the cheapest tier 5s is the Blazing Sun. I still remember when it couldn't, you know, pop LEDs originally. Speaking of LEDs... I know what I must do. I will just go back over to, like, here, and I'm short on red hot rings. Do I have anything useful? I'll use these. There we go. Did something. I honestly don't care as much. There we go, now I can afford it. Boom. Yeah, red hot rings should help. Yeah, I have black bordered a lot of maps at this point. And I'm just like putting off the expert ones till later because I'm just like, I really am not a fan of them. Because some of them are so specific. Where'd you remember me from? Don't worry, I know the feeling of being forgetful. I am a very forgetful person myself. It's why I have to have, like, reminders for things, etc. Like, I'm very scheduled as a person because I can be very forgetful. So it leads to a lot of stuff. Like, it shows up in my streams, too, where it's like, I'll forget things sometimes and be like, wait, what was I doing again? Type. Just how it be. I know part of it's the ADHD, part of it's the OCD, and part of it's the autism. Enough stuff mixed together and it just becomes this ball of good fucking luck. It's just one of those types of things. We should easily be able to take care of the Moab. Honestly, the Desperado does a lot more damage than I remembered. Which is a good thing. Finally, we can get through Deflation, which is probably... I will say this. Deflation's probably the most boring of all of them. Just in my personal opinion. Because it's just... Here, do this. Good luck. And that's about it. There's not much else to it. Close. We'll give Quincy a bird bath. And then I can have a cleanup back here. And that should be good. And it gives me a little room for, like, other stuff as well. I love the Ultra Jug. I just like big spiky ball. Honestly, with all the games I've been recently getting into and stuff, it's just been... There's been so much to play that, like, I've also been like, I really want to revisit some older games as well. Like, I still need to finish Cuphead. Like, we're literally down to the last few bosses in the DLC. I know there's other games I would love to go back to eventually. Like, I know one thing I need to do eventually is go back and get the rest of the achievements for Graveyard Keeper. I could do that either on or off stream. Same thing with Akami. I'd love to go back and actually, like, complete those achievements eventually. More for myself than anything else. Because it's just like, I've been meaning to, and I just haven't gone back and done it. Like, I've gotten some of them, but I haven't gotten others. That's been my main thing. I know, like, just in general, if I, pull up Steam, like, there's so many games I haven't played in a long time, like Trove. Anybody remember Trove? Like, that is one hell of a, like, throwback for me, is Trove. I remember playing that on, like, the PS4, I think it was. God, that was years ago. I'd love to revisit Plate Up as well. Because Plate Up is really fun. And I really enjoyed playing it with some team members of mine. So I'd love to go back, play some Plate Up. Core Keeper, I know, has gotten a few hot fixes, stability patches, etc. As well as, like, I have 2 achievements I'm missing. The hidden achievement, which is for the one thing I haven't been able to get, and then maxing out mining. I could do it on or off stream. I don't care too much. Satisfactory, we still need to finish. Like, another one I'd love to play on stream, but I know the lag would be a problem, is Oxygen Not Included. It is such a fun game, in my personal opinion. I know Terraria is another one I plan to return to. I mean, we literally have a new update coming out soon again. I know we have Astroneer. That's one I'm excited to finish as well. I accidentally opened Plate Up, didn't I? Yes, I did. That was accidental. Oops. Like, I'm just scrolling through my Steam while this goes, just to kind of, like, look at some of the stuff I plan to, like, do. Hey, Strawpen. Hope you're doing well. Welcome on in. I know that Bing Bong Lovey, thing. I've been meaning to play Peak and stuff. Like, I've watched people play. I've just never played it myself, because I don't have the friends to do it, usually. I will say, one game that I really did love, that I'd love to go back to eventually, is Slime Rancher. Because I know Slime Rancher 2 specifically has gotten, like, some patches and, like, a few update things, but nothing too big. Like, there's just a lot that I'd love to go back to. Like, one of the things that annoys me is, like, oh, Little Nightmares got an enhanced edition, meaning all the achievements I did were for nothing in the original, it feels like. And then, of course, with me being addicted to Warframe a lot recently, it's just been like, yep, that's its own thing. But coming back to BTD 6 has been nice. Like, I would get BTD 5 again, but I honestly would have to relink my old account, and I don't remember where my old account is. There's, like, a high chance it's gone. God, I miss BTD 5. Honestly, I've thought about going back and just, like, playing each of the BTD games and stuff, because I've really missed some of them. I mean, that's a part of my life that I will never forget, is, like, playing the original Bloons games before they were tower defense. But it would be fun to maybe do that on stream. Just go back through, like, the history of balloons and stuff. Like, there's so many fun ideas I have. Like, another one is I'd love to try some Pokemon ROM hacks, do some shiny hunting on stream, stuff like that. Like, there's all these different ideas, but it just depends. I know with the Pokopia DLC becoming a thing, which will have underwater stuff, it's going to be its own thing. Thanks for the follow, Straw Pen. I hope you enjoy your stay in the Labyrinth. Welcome on in, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and if not, I do hope things get better. But yeah, it is... There's so much that I love about all these various games, and, like, one of the games I want to go back to, even though we've completed them, is Ori, just because I really love the games, because my favorite game is literally Will-O-the-Wisps. Because, I mean, yeah. One I would love to go back to if I could do it would be my old Mystery Dungeon game. Because I loved Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Explorers of Sky was the first game I truly cried at. I can tell you that for sure. Okay, now we start medium. Once we get through all the medium stuff, then we can just go boom, boom. We could technically do hard and make our way to chimps. Honestly, I think that might be worth it, thinking about it. Like, I know there's a golden balloon, and I know I could go for it and, like, complete achievements, but it's also, like, honestly, in the years I've played this game, I haven't cared much about achievements. I think I'm gonna put Quincy here. I wonder how often people see, like, non-new players use Quincy for anything besides chimps. Because it's probably not high. It's probably one of those things of, you're using Quincy? Actually, this fits perfectly here. Better crosspath for Balloon Solver. Okay, it entirely depends on your situation. Because Balloon Solver, both paths are good because... Okay, now I need to show this off. So Balloon Solver has this thing it can do. We'll use easy. Doesn't matter. So, because Balloon Solver has a splash effect naturally. And it's changed a lot over the years I've played. So if we do this, and we send out, like, round 63. It can handle round 63 by itself. No problem. Another one that's a big problem is 98. So 98, just base, it does about this much. It's gluing everything. So in this case, stickier and stronger glue is better because it will soak through the balloons as well as do more. Like, this is how much it literally breaks all the Moabs down into their main balloons for 98. Except for the ZOMGs. This is why I love Balloon Solver. Because you're not going to deal with a lot of balloons at once, usually. And it usually can take care of, like, hitting it all by itself. But with bigger globs, I can kind of show you. If we send out the same round, you'll notice everything still gets glued at the same time. It has less of a matter with Balloon Solver. Like, stuff still pops the same, but as you'll notice, it's a little bit faster. Because stuff popped a little bit faster because it was able to glue more at once. It basically just gives it more pierce, which can be useful for the really dense rounds. With like as you can see, it was able to break down those and stuff, but not the same as the previous. So it's one of those things of, if you're going for pure damage, bottom path is good, but this one is good for just overall spreading of the damage. So it's all situational with Balloon Solver. Both can be good, but it's usually better to go for the bottom path unless it is for cleanup, because for cleanup, then middle path is good, but top path is also good if you're using it on like Moabs, etc. It's one of the few things I know very well about this game is very weird little bits of info. You don't need a cross pass, but it's better to get some of the cross pass, like the stickier glue and stuff slows the balloons more, which may not seem as important, but when it comes to Moabs, even if it doesn't have the full effect, it, as you saw, it still made enough of an effect where even at the reduced rate, it still slowed them enough to make it a difference. Glue Gunner is honestly very weird, but I really love Glue Gunner despite all of its weirdness. Bigger globs. I'm probably going to go for a Moab glue. At least that's my idea. A Moab glue could work pretty well. Another one that would... I also want to get a village, just so they can see camo. And so we can upgrade this guy's range even more. I mean, this is just base hard, so I'm not too worried. I can hear my dogs barking at the people working outside, and I'm just like, doggos, these are the people trying to make sure we don't sink into the fucking ground. Like, my god. I love my dogs, but sometimes it's just like, you're barking your head off for nothing. I can tell you that for a reason. For a fact. But yeah, I still love my dogs to death. They mean so much to me. Because yeah, as much as they can be a pain in the butt, it's hard not to love them. Okay. Glue splatter. Stickier glue. Because yeah, Glue Gunner is one of those things that I feel like a lot of people have trouble fully understanding the extents of its abilities, which I can understand why. Like, people don't realize it can solo, like, into the late 60s as Balloon Solver. Like, Balloon Solver can solo for a long time. You just need to get past those early rounds. Like, of course, everyone knows in some extent, yeah, it's good for round 63 and stuff. But a lot of people forget it's good for stuff like 68, and even as you saw earlier, 98. Because of its just damage potential. And that was without buffs. Give it something like Jungle Drums, Primary Training to give it more range, pierce, and projectile speed. And it's like, because if you're gonna buff it with like Primary Training and stuff, it's better to go bottom path then, because you're getting that pierce of the middle path and a little bit of that speed with Jungle Drums. And then you can also slow the balloons a little bit more too, while they're slowly getting just absolutely destroyed. It's just one of those little bits of info. Yes, I did. It's such a weird fun fact about the banana farm. It's just like, ah yes, 540. Like, The top 2 upgrades and middle 2 upgrades do cost the same in total, technically. And it's like, I wonder if that was purposeful. Because there is a high likelihood it wasn't. And that's the funniest part of it. Like, I think my favorite thing is how much Ninja Kiwi loves to shitpost on their YouTube as well. Like, they literally posted the Squidward meme of, please, to players wanting a Corvus skin. They know. They know. They just actively choose not to. And I don't know whether or not I should feel more annoyed by it or laugh more at it because of the funniness of it. Like, in general, it's not common to see that type of, like, shitpost. Another thing that I saw is they also are releasing a different game that isn't BTD 6. I'm like, oh my god, they're bringing back the zombie survival thing. That's insane. Back in ye olden Ninja Kiwi days. That's what it feels like remembering that game. Back in ye olden days, back before Bloons tower defense was popular. Gods. But yeah, I remember so much from the various games I'd play, like different Flash games. God. You know what? That actually reminds me. There's one game set I haven't played in so long, and I only played one of them, and that's the Papa's games. I've only played Scooper, the ice cream one. I think it's Scooperia. And that's the only Papa's game I've played, and I've been meaning to go back and play them, but then when Flash got shut down, I was like, well, dang. But then I found out you can actually still access them in a form. And it's making me think, should I play the Papa's games on stream for fun? Like my first time playing most of them. Except for Scooperia, if that's what it is called. Because that could genuinely be fun to just, like, try. Because it's such a fast shooting tower, this is the better option. But yeah, it's like, there's so many games I want to go back to from, like, when I was younger. And, like, when I... Like, because I know there's some I'll never be able to play again because they just don't exist anymore. Because they were just arcade cabinet games that have vanished to the annals of time. Where very few collectors still have them. The annals of time call. Flop, 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 flop. Because it's like, I look back at it and it's like, I really do wonder. Because those are some memories and a half that I have. Because they're pretty old memories, too. So it makes me wonder about, like, I wonder if I did insert thing. Ah, the old days. One of those things that I never will truly forget. I plan to get a tack zone because it's just going to be really useful. God, you know, part of me wonders, because we know the inevitability is there will be a day that we get a BTD 7. That's an inevitable day of our lives, likely. And the thought of that still feels weird. And I know not everyone likes it, but I honestly like that they've been trying different game mode types with, like, Legends and Frontiers. I honestly really like the, like, lore of the monkey world being expanded through that type of stuff. Gosh. And there go them. Gosh, we're almost done. Damn. Already on 60. Yeah, Glue Gunner is doing a lot of work here. Same for Wincy? Quincy, not Wincy. I read Wolfpack Quincy and my brain went, yes, Wincy. Because that's his name. Because, yeah, I definitely want to do some stuff. Actually, looking at this and remembering that these are named after D&D spells, there's something I do want to mention that I found really funny. So, I learned of a new D&D spell that rangers can use that's a newer spell in total. And its whole point, it's like Buzzing Bee. Alls it does is it sends an annoying bee, an annoying magical bee to go around a target and to annoy them. That's all it does. It helps reduce perception and concentration because there's just an annoying bee buzzing around their face for the next, like, hour. You can torture someone for hours with an annoying-ass bee. And I kinda wanna do that. Just for the lulz. I kinda wanna take that spell just so my character can be like, I told you if you didn't listen, it wasn't gonna be fun. And just have the bee buzz for hours. And hours. And hours. Because I have multiple spell slots. I can multicast it. But since I'm a swarm keeper and can control bugs and insects in general, even when I'm resting, I can just let the swarm take over temporarily. Which is just funny. I just love the idea of it. Because it's not even a real one, it's a spectral one, meaning they can't swat it away. It's always going to be there until the spell is dispelled or ends. Like, it sounds like something Thanos would do to, like, that one guy that he personally, like, ruins the life of every single birthday. Like, happy birthday, your dog's dead. Or, happy birthday, I split you in half. Like, that's all to impress death. Thanos was a weird individual when you think about it. He did a lot of fricked up crap. Like, just in general, Thanos was not a... was like... he was something else in the comics. I wonder how many people know that he even did that. I wonder how many people actually know about some of the stuff in the comics. Like, in general, because some of them are really weird. I think about the Buffy comic of, like, with the werewolf. The frickin' image from it. Where she's basically, oh, where the werewolf's like, look at me, I'm a monster. And she's like, oh, honey, you'd be the star at all them conventions. And my only thought is, oh my god, it's real. Getting close to primary expertise. Just make this even stronger. I could also get super glue, but don't really need it. I do find it interesting how they buff some of the old towers that needed buffing, because they buffed them in a lot of interesting and fun ways, in my personal opinion. Next up, can I fit? Okay, no, I can't fit it in range. That's a shame. Unless... yeah, no. Unless... I wonder. I'd need tier 5 of it, though, and I would not be able to get it. Like, just in general, though, I love what they've done with this game. While I do miss the balloon chipper, I'm glad that we've gotten so many cool new monkeys to the lore. And I think heroes were a really cool idea. It's kind of hard to imagine balloons without heroes now. Now, what I would really like is Balloons Monkey City 2. I miss Balloons Monkey City. I wonder how many people nowadays actually have played Monkey City. It's been years since it, you know, existed. Because that's where DDTs, like, first appeared. I wonder how many people actually know that fact, that DDTs are from Monkey City. Okay, alternate balloon rounds. I'm not looking forward to Half Cash. Half Cash is probably the worst of all of the things. Alternate balloon rounds. Quincy is gonna be amazing for this. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I could put him there, but I think I'm gonna do this. Then I can at least get some camo detection early for the, because we're gonna have to deal with leads early, camos early, etc. So, gotta be as ready as I'll ever be. Do 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 do. Ah yes, the fabled camo red regrow. Truly terrifying. I love that meme of a balloon. Camo reinforced red regrow balloon. Now with extra Moab stacks. Honestly, I think it'd be really funny if they added a skin for the Moab that just turns it into a giant red regrow rainbow type energy. Like, not rainbow, camo. So it's just a giant camo red heart that just floats across the screen. It'd be really funny. Can't take out those normally. Not yet, at least. Do 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 do. Boo doo boo doo boo doo boo 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 boo. Boo doo boo boo. Boo doo boo boo doo boo boo doo boo 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 doo boo. Do 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 do. You know, Bloons is one of those games that just, where the composer was just like, you know what? I'm gonna cook today. I never ends up missing a shot. Are you sure about that? Pissed off tone. I mean, his whole point is to be cocky and not actually as good as he is. Are you kidding me? Nothing gets past my bow. Random pink balloon. Are you sure about that? Just, are you sure about that? But hope you're doing well today, 22. Dooch. I still haven't gotten lucky with any Caliban system stuff, but I did start my folly crafting at least this morning. No luck on the Varuna stuff either. Though when farming neurodes, I don't know how rare it is, but I managed to get all the parts of Nidus. And because I was like, I mean, I might as well try this for farming neurodes because I heard it's good. But I've also heard horror stories of people being like, I have drained myself from the Nidus grind. And my only thought is it that bad? I did it in like an hour worth of time when I was farming neurodes. And I got all the pieces. And I already had all the stuff to craft it. I just didn't want to spend it. And then you can easily just buy his blueprint. Doing fine, you finally got the thing you wanted? Nice, nice. It's always nice when you finally get the thing you've been looking for in a game. Because that can always be one of the most annoying things, is just waiting and waiting, trying your hardest to get a specific thing, only to just get absolutely screwed over. Nautilus Prime, nice. Yeah, for me, the only thing I'm missing is its Cerebrum. Or whatever the Neuropics part of it is called. It's the only part I'm missing, and I have multiple, like, relics with it in it. I just haven't gone out of my way to try and, like, open them up. I need to see if my friends have any Caliban Prime system blueprints. Because that's something I'm going to need to do. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to go for top path over purple balloon carrying. Because purple balloons are one thing, but there's not much you can do. And it's one balloon type. Compared to, like, the range I'll get from this as well as damage. Honestly, I can already guess how long it took, and it probably took a few hours. Because sometimes you just get really unlucky. I will say, though, my least favorite Steel Path spawnable is frickin' Violence. Every single time. It just is so annoying to deal with. I can deal with the rest of them so much easier. But Violence makes me want to commit a violence. Specifically Violence. Actually, if I put this here, and I were to do that, I have an idea. Because then I can just... It does get bigger with primary expertise, though. But it's not hitting either of them yet. But it could. Since its release date in 2024, damn. I'm gonna be honest, as nice as the Nautilus Prime sounds, I don't think I'm ever gonna switch off of Sly Guy. It's just hard not to love Sly Guy. I mean, he's literally a sly guy. I love my Sly Volpa. He's the slyest of guys, in my opinion. There, I'll do that for now. While we save up. And I'll get a farm. Yeah, we'll go greater production. Technically, it doesn't produce as much, but I just need it quicker than later. So. There we go. Do. I still can't get, certain things out of my brain. Because all I know is I had a very fun idea for a character in D&D if my main character dies. Because my main character has almost died so many times. Poor Kage. Erebus Kage, Eclipseborn. The ranger that has somehow not died yet. He's not even the youngest in the group, age-wise, but he's the youngest maturity-wise. Because in elf years, it's very different. Like, he may be in his 50s, but for an elf, that is like saying, oh yeah, this is like a 14-year-old, 15-year-old kid. Like, that's how old he is. He is not, like, he is like a teenager. And it's really funny because it's created a very interesting group dynamic because we have another elf in the group who is much older and feels so uncomfortable about talking about certain topics because, and I quote, I don't think it's appropriate for him. And it's really funny. Like, I love that that's become an unintentional dynamic for us. I love stuff like that where it's just, oh yeah, here's unintentional dynamic that's really funny. It just makes it feel so much more lively. In a good way. Close. Larger potions. I'm gonna get a bottom path, alchemist here. Do, 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 do. Close. But yeah, it's one of those things that I can't help but laugh at a bit because it's just like really dumb, but really funny. Because the youngest by like years alive would be the vampire we all thought was way older, but is actually just in his 20s. Like, everyone thought this man has been around for like a few hundred years. No, he's only 20s. He's only in his 20s. He's a Way of the Drunkard monk. So he's basically a drunk. I'm gonna be honest, I vaguely remember it, but I'm not 100% sure. Because my memory is shit. I get to see my sprinkler! Yay, sprinkler! I love seeing the sprinkler. I don't get to see that enough. Do 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 do. Money! I remember when Lead to Gold, when it was back in the early days, when it could actually insta-pop DDTs. So giving camo detection to the alchemist was actually even better. I remember it so vaguely, but it, like, not vaguely, vividly. And it's just so dumb, but so funny. And I'm sad it got removed, but I get why it was removed balancing-wise. Because it makes sense why they would remove that. Because it was broken. Juggernaut. Okay. Can do that. And put him here. And we can have a fire shooter up here to help deal with any balloons that get through this guy. Ba-ding, ba-dink, ba-dink, Badink, 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 badink. Unironically, I wish it showed you how much cash he earned through the gold. I really think it should tell you. Like, just personally. Because I know he makes you a lot more cash than you would think. But he's also changed since that last test I've done. And it's like, I want to know how much cash he makes more effectively. This tack shooter's doing its best. And boom. Boom. Badink, 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 badink.
Get ready to feast.
Damn. Okay. You know what I could do? For remembering. Okay. What I'm gonna do here, Permafrost, Ice Shards, Embrittlement, larger radius, and refreeze. So now I can also freeze them and just badink, 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 while also damaging them more. Look at that rage. We got a very interesting, setup going on. This guy's attacking surprisingly quickly. Do, 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 do. I could get another one of these alchemists. Like, up here. And then now we're gonna make sure everything gets golded that can be. They're doing their best. Da-ding, 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 da-ding. That's all I'm hearing. It's great. Okay. This is going great. I could do this one. Get more popping power, ability cooldowns. This is working surprisingly well. Also, fun fact about the village. The village is one of the only towers to have natural camo detection when being placed down. There is not many towers that can naturally hit camos. The only ones are, weirdly enough, Ninja, Factory, and Village. I know very well you probably heard my dog just bark there. Nice. Yeah, I've thought about upgrading my model, but honestly, I haven't really seen a need to. But then again, I haven't really cared enough to. I know, like, just in general. Like, if I took the time and, like, spent the money on it, I probably could. I agree with your dog on this topic. Bark, bark, indeed. Thanks, Tabs. Hope you're doing well today. Classic Athena. Just bark, 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 bark. When I do that, she actually, like, gives me this look of, like, did you just, like, bitch? Like, she gives me that type of look, like, how dare you? How dare you insult me to my face? I'm also the only one who can get her to shut up. And it's through one of the weirdest ways. I don't even need to say shut it or anything. I just have to say oi. And she just quiets down like, oh, sorry. And the only time I do that is when someone has a migraine or is sleeping. And it's like, hey, let them sleep. It's not important. Because it's like, yeah, obvious reasons. Though it's really funny because there'll be times she's laying on the couch when I go downstairs and do stuff. And I'll look at her. She'll look at me. And she'll just like slightly move so her belly's exposed, like, please pet me. And like her tail will just like ba-dum, ba-dum, as I get closer until I start petting her belly and it stops and you just see her legs start to wiggle if you get the right spot. And it's really adorable. Because it's like this, please rub my belly. It's adorable. And then there's Dewey, and he, as much as he's fine with belly rubs, what he really loves is when you are rubbing his face and then start like flopping his ears. He loves ear flops. I don't know why. He just really loves it. It makes him very happy. And Baker just likes to be curled up as close as he can be. Like, just in general. Baker likes curling up as close as he can be. But, like, all my dogs have such weird personalities with how they like being, like, pet, treated, etc. And it's adorable. Like, one of the things is whenever I get ice from our ice machine and stuff, because we have one. Came with the fridge. Dewey always will, like, come up just like, ice tax. He has an ice tax, basically. So whenever someone gets ice, you have to get him an ice cube. The ice tax. Just one of those things. It depends on the day if Athena's up in the mood for ice or not, but Dewey loves ice. Oh yeah, dogs are so interesting. My sister's dog, Hank, is... How do I put it? He's an idiot. He's a lovable idiot. He's a little mini pit. He's a little mini pitty. And of course, they have thinner skin, they don't have a thick coat, so he cuts himself a lot because he loves to go and play in piles of branches. He will make a pile of branches to play in and get himself hurt. And then be annoyed when we have to, you know, take care of him and stuff. He is a very lovable dork who may or may not have eyesight issues because, like, if you have a shadow over your face in a weird way, he'll start barking at you. Like, he is something else. Like, I see him here and there, and it's just like, he is a weirdo. So he has this a really adorable shirt. Like this adorable sun shirt thing. Do, 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 do. But yeah, he is definitely a weird dog. But he's lovable. And what more can you ask for? I love all my doggos, though. As weird as they can be, they're all lovable. Because I will say, one of the things is you can tell when someone hasn't had a German Shepherd or like a Labrador and stuff, like dogs that play more rough. You can tell when they haven't had one because, like, the snap sound and, like, watching them wrestle, like, their instant thought is, oh my god, they're fighting, when in reality, no. That's just what she does. Because, like, when Athena is, like, really excited and wants to play, she'll go, "Row, row, row," and, like, you'll hear her, mouth like her jaw snap. And it's one of those things of like, at this point, it's like, I know very well, but you sometimes just have to say, hey, no snippy snappy. That's what we say. No snippy snappy. Because sometimes she will just overdo it for herself, run, and then trip over herself. God, she's so much like me. She's so much like me. Dewey does the same thing. My dogs are a lot like me. They trip over themselves a lot when they get running. And it's really funny because you'll see them running around in the backyard type area that we have, like our fenced in area. They'll be running around and you'll see one of them trip over themselves and then the other will trip over that one. And then they just get up like nothing happened and start running again. It's so dumb, but it's really funny. And they're fine. Like, they know their own limits. But it's whenever they come in and, like, they're covered in slobber and it's like, gross. Because I know very well it's because they've been playing. That's how you can tell. As disgusting as it can be, still lovable. It's hard not to love them, though. I put a lot of care into them, and honestly, they just mean a lot to me. But yeah, my doggos are just amazing. I know I've posted them on, like, the Discord and stuff. I know my sister will visit with her dog. Like, Hank is basically like a fourth dog at this point for us. It's crazy. He also does this thing where, and I don't know if it's a pity thing or not, because same thing happens with my roommates, where when they get barking too much, they make a sound like they're screaming, like, and it's like, what the fuck? It's like, if they start barking too much, they will just scream, basically, and it's like, what the frick is wrong with you? It's like, what the hell? Dogs are weird as hell. Like, they truly are weird as hell. But it's hard not to love them in their own ways. As weird as they can be. Truly, as weird as they can be. Okay, what do we want to use as well? Could use Desperado. Could do... no. I think I want him here. Nomad. Then we can get, like, Bounty Hunter and stuff if we really want.
Get ready to feast.
Boom. Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter. It's high noon. I mean, he's doing good. I'm glad that we actually have, like, some... Actually, I'm curious. Can a sniper be placed on here? No. Darn. I was hoping that maybe, just maybe, they would have changed it, but no. Sniper used to be so powerful on maps like this, where it's like, oh yeah, place it here and it can see everything. But ever since they added like the whole system with like the red and like line of sight, it's really changed the game for the better in my opinion. Because you can put it here and it's like, okay, it can't see below the skull. That makes sense. I just think it fits. It fits a lot in my opinion. Ultra Jug. Do 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 do.
Get ready to feast.
Okay, so I could maybe do... If I get it like this, okay, now it will work. Then I can...
Get ready to feast.
do this. I mainly want the more range for other stuff. Okay, and then I also can get one of these. Where I'm gonna go for Arctic Wind, I think. Just because I think it will be better to have, like, the area covered. Actually, wait a minute. I can do something even better. I can do that. Abyssal Warrior. Perfect. And then I can start getting, like, Moab Glue and stuff. It'll be perfect. Oh yeah, BTD5 Sniper was insane. And honestly, it makes sense why they nerfed the Sniper into this game as well, because all three paths are unironically insane. I still remember the joke that was made of, oh, Permaspike? Don't worry, we nerfed it again too. What did we nerf? That's for us to know. Like, that was a whole joke, because of the, like, for so many updates in a row, the Permaspike was just nerfed repeatedly. Because of how broken it was. And I just find it hilarious. Boom, boom. Actually, there's another thing I can do here, too. Once I get this to its final form. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Attacks much faster, but less so when more monkeys are... And the fewer are in range. That should work. But yeah, if I can get the final harmonic, I can basically just... Because, yeah, I want to be able to put this in a different place, but for now I can put it here. Because I want that Wait a minute. I don't need her there, actually. I think I can just put her here. Does she still have the range, though? That's my one biggest problem, is I don't think she gets the same range. Yeah, no. As you can see, it's much smaller. But that might not be a bad thing if I put it here. Because it'll be within this thing's range. But I think it's gonna be better, like, over here. Then I can put it, like, here. Which will just allow them to go... And once I get final harmonic, I can put it around this. Nerf burps. God. Not again. I will say, there's very few towers that can truly, like, cover the entire track. If you think about it. And I kind of am curious, could you beat a map only using towers like that cover the track, or like use effects that affect the track only? So like with ninjas, you can only get to Caltrop. You can't do anything else. Wizards, only Wall of Fire and Necromancers. Because I think that would actually be really cool. Technically, you could use Mermonkey, as long as you're using the shell. Or like only bottom path of the frickin' Alchemist. That could actually be fun to do as a challenge. What do you guys think? Would you be up for that? Like after we test chimps on this map and stuff? Would anyone be up for trying that as a fun challenge? Because you could technically use, like, Engineer. It'd have to be stuff that can only be placed on the track, though, which definitely would add a lot. And, of course, things that are flying above it, like the helicopter, don't count. So, like, you could use the plasma accelerator and stuff as long as it is making a puddle on the track. Type thing. So it can't, like, go down the track. It has to only be on the track the best you can. That'd be fun. I think it'd be a fun challenge to at least try. Do. Do. Okay. There we go. We're making money slowly. Look at that. Truly beautiful. Yeah, I think I could go for primary expertise first. I could also go for Inferno Ring first. There's a lot of things I could go for, honestly. But I think the final harmonic will be more worth it. Because then I could move this to there. Meaning now... Perfect. This is working well. Yeah. This is actually really cool. I'm glad it's actually working a lot. I love how the biggest attackers are these two. Yet somehow not this guy, just because he's just not at his max power. Primary expertise. Primary expertise does a lot to Moabs as a whole because it has so much Moab damage. This thing is gonna get really powerful when it gets upgraded. Do. I will say, every year around this time, like, I've made the joke before of, oh, we need to change the flag for Pride type joke, because it gets changed so... Like, there's been so many changes. Because, like, I remember the original, like... Because each stripe was meant to actually represent something and whatnot. And I keep seeing the things that are like, oh, let's incorporate this into it. It's like, there's a certain extent where it's too much. It's like the whole meme of, don't worry, I made sure everyone's included. And it's just a freaking entire color, like, palette. I honestly like the progress flag that we have now. With the trans colors as well as the black and brown. I think it's the best way to go about it, of like stuff, because the original rainbow stuff had the meaning. Because that's just the inevitability, is it had meaning. It meant a lot to the people that created it and whatnot. And since then, a lot of people have kind of forgotten its original meanings. And that it's supposed to be a symbol, not for every single, like, person, but just for the community as a whole. Like, it's the same thing with various other flags. I will say my favorite joke, though, that I've seen is someone who's like, don't worry, I know how to change it, and it just keeps changing until it eventually becomes the Ohio flag. It was so dumb, but so funny. Because it's like, I know I am lucky where I'm at in terms of, like, family stuff with my sexuality and stuff compared to other people. And it definitely helps with, like, understanding certain things. Especially when, like, you have family members that actually, you know, helped fight for rights throughout their lives and stuff. Because you kind of get a different perspective on a lot of stuff that you normally wouldn't. Like, why certain things were created and why they became so important and popular to these people. Because That's the type of stuff that really changed a lot of lives that a lot of people don't realize. Okay, time for chimps. Because part of the reason the pride flag changed in the first place to add the black and brown was because of various events that happened to a lot of individual of the community, but also they are to represent things from the AIDS crisis, etc. That's why the L comes first in LGBT, is because of the AIDS crisis. Because it used to be GLBT. It's funny because sometimes it's weird. It says something about my grandma that she'll sometimes still call it that on accident. Because I think that says a lot about, like, the type of person she was as well. Where she actually remembers the original. Because she helped fight for stuff. Little fun fact about her, she actually helped organize, stuff behind the scenes to help people be able to donate blood for HIV patients through various means that may or may not be fully legal, but nowadays probably would not get you put in jail because of, like, the situations and stuff and what happened then, because the amount of people that would end up going to jail is so many, it would just flood a system. But it's one of those things that kind of reminds me of the fact that, like, there's a lot of people that just aren't remembered for all they've done because people just don't know. Like, I've made so many discoveries about family members I never would have if I never talked to them about certain things. Like, just in general, it's kind of cool to learn about these different family members I have and, like, the differences they've made in their lifetimes. But when it comes to, like, the pride flag and stuff, each thing has its own meaning. And part of the reason the trans colors were added were because of all of the problems that have been going on, so it could raise more awareness. And I kind of look at it now of just, like, if we inevitably keep changing it every single time, it's eventually just going to become a mess. It's the same thing with, like, all the flags. Like, I feel the same way about a lot of country flags, too, because holy crap, do some of them just become confusing. I mean, some of them are literally just flipped versions of other countries. Or, oh, don't worry, just change it a little bit, it should be fine. Or in some cases, they use another flag. Illinois flag. Oh my god. Yeah. Like, for some examples, they use another flag in the flag. Looks at a specific Union Jack. It's like, you look at it and you just kind of think to yourself, Jesus Christ. Here we go. Because that's what it feels like. This is like, oh my god, here we go again. Like, one of the things that has always boggled me is the fact that they haven't made Washington, D.C. a state yet. Because it's been in the talks before, but it's never happened yet. And I'm just like, that area is so specifically, like, set that it's not impossible to make that area a state. And it's one of those things I just kind of look at it like, 100% they would probably end up doing it for if they actually, like, took the time to do it, is the thing. Because it comes up in talks, and then it just never goes anywhere. Like, I think the farthest it's made is, like, an idea that was placed, and then it was just put down for something else. Like, historically speaking. Like, I kind of look at a lot of the history of stuff, because history is a passion of mine. I've made that very well known. And the history of all these different places is actually really interesting because, like, American history is one thing, but then history of other places another. Like, because with how history is talked about in various places, it's talked about so differently due to various biases, various countries, etc. Like, I know in some cases, like, oh wow, the people are like, wow, the US doesn't talk about insert world event, but it's also like, it's because the US was never part of insert world event. It wasn't part of the British-French War that happened during that specific war. It was only part of the war that eventually led into the Revolutionary War stuff, where France joined us, but we don't talk about everything from their side, only our side, because that's where the country started. We talk a bit about the first settlers in quotations, but we don't talk about the history of the natives as much as you would think, which is sad because there's a lot of interesting, like, history behind the Native Americans as a whole, because you look at it and you just kind of start to realize there was a lot of, like, interesting things they used to do, and they actually took care of the land a lot better than people may think or realize. You know what? That is a fair point. Because, yeah, I mean, history is just one of those things I could talk about for hours on end, because there's just a lot in history. I mean, for example, I will say one of the funniest things I ever had, like, a talk with someone about, was there was someone who was just being a downright, like, a-hole. And, like, oh, nothing created by blank is this, and blank is that. It's like, what? Because it completely, like, it's basically old-timey thinking of, oh, anything from, like, this area has to be bad, or anything from this area has to be good. It's like, have you seen how the tech has evolved in some areas and devolved in others? But also, like, one of the things I can guarantee is most people probably don't know this. One of the original walker designs for, like, walkers that people use was created by the same person who first invented the toilet paper holder with her sister. Surprise. You get to learn a little more intrigue. Like, there's so many things like that that's like, wait, what? Like, people that you wouldn't expect that are, like, way more, like, insane than you'd ever know. And I think that's so cool. Because it kind of shows that there is a lot that goes into these things that we know versus what we don't know. Like, I have found so many things out about people and, like, various events. Like, for example, there's a whole, like, historical event where people just started randomly, like, dancing until they died. Just weird, like, hysterical moments like that. Or, like, the actual history of, like, Rasputin is like, what the heck? Like, he was almost killed so many times, yet somehow didn't die. Like, some people in history are so batshit insane.
Tasty.
Oh yeah, it's like, overall, like, it just kind of says something about the absurdity of humankind throughout history. Like, if you were to make it into a book, People would call it bad world building, and you can't convince me otherwise. If you use history for a fantasy world, and they didn't know it was like actual real like human history, I can guarantee they'd call it bad world building or confusing world building, because history is so weird. Like, it is such an abnormal part of our world, and there's so much we've lost to history too, that's just like, Lord knows the weird stuff we don't know about. I mean, like, it's suggested that, like, farming techniques we use now have existed for a long time, just weren't as commonly practiced by a lot of colonialists at the time when colonization happened, Dust Bowl, etc. Oh yeah, it's like, it's really funny because you can tell which people know the history and which people don't sheerly from that. Because I have some weird events that have happened in history. It's like, oh yeah, insert event, like, bunch of knowledge just kind of vanished. It's happened in history multiple times. People don't remember much from it. I wonder why. Or another one where it's like, oh yeah, then there was this war. What was it started over? Bread. It was started over bread. I ate the knowledge. God dang it, what have I told you about eating knowledge tabs? Gosh. But like, it's those weird events that seem unrealistic until you realize they're based off real events. And they are real things that have happened. People have started wars for less. People have done weirder for less. For years beyond what we even know. Hell, ancient Rome had forms of brain surgery. You had ancient hunter-gatherers with their own languages, cave paintings with their own symbolism where people would rarely draw themselves unless it was related to someone's death and or a serious injury. Oh, 100%! I mean, if you look at World War II, a lot of people don't want to remember how ridiculous the lead up to World War II is outside of Germany. Because, for example, Hitler was not very competent. Like, his whole thing was very incompetent. Like, as a whole. And I think that says a lot. Because, yeah, like, there's a lot of stuff like that where it's like, oh, wow, insert person was very incompetent with what they would do. Yeah, it was literally just charisma that kept them, like, in power, mainly. It was a mixture of charisma and using things to their advantage. And the lack of and the few people that did fight either vanishing or things happening, or because some people just didn't want to budge on certain like aspects or issues. And it's kind of like, you look at it and then you look at stuff and it's like, there's a lot of stuff where whenever I hear someone say history loves to repeat itself, I always feel like I have to remind them that it never truly does repeat, but it sure as hell rhymes. Because history does rhyme. Oh, it certainly rhymes. It is a rhyme time machine. And you know what? It can. And I look at it now and it's like, history is so much more than we even can understand at this point. Because it is so complex and so absurd that some people will never fully believe the absolute absurdity of it. I mean, you look at some of the stuff that actually worked, and it's like, the fuck? Like, World War II and World War I would never have happened if Franz Ferdinand wasn't assassinated. They originally basically just threw the bomb out of the car, and the assassins thought they failed until one of them randomly found Franz Ferdinand by chance and killed him. That's a summary of it, basically. Meaning World War I and II happened because some guy got lucky and found their assassination target after they thought they failed. These are the things that really make you go, you know, the world is a lot weirder than I thought. And I think it's a great way to look at the world of, like, it is a weird place. Yeah, with tensions rising, something was going to happen one way or another because of the tensions. But it was the fact the assassins were from the same side and they didn't know at the time. And it's believed that if Archduke Franz Ferdinand was never, like, assassinated, it wouldn't have caused the full World War. It would have just caused a smaller war. And I think that's an interesting thought, because it's like, while tensions would have rose, it probably would not have turned into the full war it became. And it's kind of crazy to think about the fact that if that dude hadn't done something, like, even with the tensions and stuff, there is a world out there where World War I either inevitably happened through a different means or never happened until so much later, if at all. And I think that just boggles my mind to think about, because part of World War II and what led to a lot of, like, the success of Hitler and stuff was not moving in certain things, but also them using strategies from World War I that they then reversed in a lot of cases. And they use those to trick the various allies. And you kind of look at it and it's like, you know, part of the reason Hitler came to power is because of the effects of World War I. And you look at it now and it's like, if World War I didn't happen, there is a high likelihood he never would have come to power. Because he used it as part of his arguments. And the effects of it. Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. But the fact that the Archduke died is what really made it, like, a huge thing for multiple countries. That's kind of the important part to remember. Oh, 100%. Like, it's kind of ironic when you look at it like that. Like, it's the same thing with the guy who was going to assassinate Hitler and failed. like horribly because he mistimed something and was late. Like, it really makes you wonder what would have happened if some of these people didn't fail or did fail in these certain situations. Because it would be entirely different. And it's an interesting thought experiment of like, where would we be if something like this happened or something like that happened? And that's one of the most fun things for me about history is the thought experiments of what if? Like with the fighting in Japan during World War II, historians believe that there was a chance of an actual like side switch, even if it was only temporary, which might, like with certain stuff, there's a possibility that Pearl Harbor would have never gotten like bombed, which wouldn't have led to the nuke. Like the fact that that is a possibility is kind of crazy. Or the fact that apparently the nuke wasn't even at its full strength when the two went off. And it just kind of makes you wonder, like, what if? Because these are, like, questions that are, like, a morbid curiosity type thing. Like, because there's a lot to, like, understand, but also a lot to just, like, look at of, like, what decisions were made, what affected what, in what ways. Because if the Archduke didn't die, it wouldn't have led to certain countries coming into the war due to various agreements, because it would have just been less of an importance if it was a random civilian. It would have been more of a personal war thing instead of a defensive war thing, due to so many contracts that, God, Lord knows how many of them still exist. Honestly, probably, like, very few. Or, like, they are just forgotten about. You know, that's another thing. I wonder how many, like, diplomacy things have been completely forgotten to the annals of history. Because, like, for example, Slovakia and the Czech Republic, before they split, when they were still Czechoslovakia, had so many various things that basically became null and void after the split. And it does make you wonder. Just like a mild curiosity. I mean, it's because it wasn't a... It's because the whole Czechoslovakia breaking apart, like, wasn't really this big newsworthy story to a lot of people. So a lot of people never reported on it in the same way, especially in America. Like, for my family, it was a bit more important because of, like, ties to it, but it's also a thing of, think of the amount of people that left the place while it was slowly collapsing as well. I mean, it's one of those things where you look at it and it's like, you know, maybe, just maybe, there is a world where people didn't make bad decisions, where things changed completely. Because no matter what, each choice, I think of it like this. Time is like a web. Each choice you make splits it into multiple portions, depending on the choice and the choices of others. This web spinning and swirling around almost, where there's multiple versions of you that just did different things and led to these wildly different outcomes. And we just happened to walk that tight line of, like, here we are, where it's like certain events happen and it just merges back to one thing, where it's like no matter what, stuff happens, but one thing is different. be it one small choice to this or that, it really makes you wonder. But it's really cool to think about. Because the universe is so big that in an infinite universe, there are infinite possibilities, infinite timelines, infinite Earths, infinite things to do, where every single type of what happened exists. And it really makes you wonder. Because I know it makes me wonder, because I'm a very curious person. I love learning about new things and how people react to things. Because there is just so much to learn. And it's really cool. Because it's like, for example, like, the world's top tire manufacturer was Lego. And due to its cheaper cost and the recyclability, they switched to a different type of material to make their tires for their Lego sets. That makes them more reusable, renewable, etc. And it's like, look at Xbox. I mean, after how bad it started to flop, they gave a dying company to someone, like, probably expecting her to fail, and then boom, she has been bringing it back slowly and being transparent with the customer. And, like, overall, basically just, in summary, basically just said to investors, like, you can't keep milking the same cow expecting it to produce milk. It still needs time to graze. Because that's one of the things that a lot of people forget, who a lot of investors seem to forget with, like, bigger companies, is the customer still matters. Especially if they want to make money. Xbox jump scare. Boo! Oh god, not Xbox! But yeah, it's like, it really makes you wonder, like, there's so many choices that go into these various things. And it's like, we've seen what happens if you make enough bad choices that are anti-consumer. I mean, we're literally seeing it happen with Disney and Facebook and stuff, where they are literally starting to, like, drain money because they can't keep some things open. Or they are just trying the same thing, hoping it will succeed. And it's like, and we've watched as their things are slowly collapsing in on themselves. It's just kind of crazy. But it also says a lot as a whole. Make sure you hydrate, by the way, if you haven't. Hydration is very important. But yeah, it's like, it gives me hope for the future. Because there are good things out there that people forget or don't see because the news spreads so much negativity. Like, for example, areas that have been affected by farmland and lumbering that have now become protected land. Within 30 years, scientists have estimated that about 90% of the original flora and fauna can return to its original state. Of, like, the rainforests and stuff, and it's like, that's good news. Another good news fact. The things they've been doing to help spread more grassland that has slowly died off due to old farming practices, etc., and various places in Africa has been working. They've been seeing more rain, more lush grass actually doing its own thing, and overall an increase in the environment. We've also seen Um, the US now officially has its top 3 is no longer nuclear, natural gas, and coal, but nuclear, natural gas, and solar power are now our top producers. Meaning we are turning to more clean energy. Scientists also, for example, have found a new way of drilling that might let us drill down to like near the mantle layer and like the warmth from the earth, that if it works well would allow for a new version of geothermal power that could be done almost anywhere, that could actually like power entire cities from the center of the earth at a lower overall like space cost, etc. While it's still only in testing, it's still cool. Another cool fun fact. I believe it was in Australia, where they have now found a way to, in the size of like a Hershey bar or a Lego brick, like in terms of like width, very like thin piece of glass like that, they're able to fit multiple terabytes of memory into the glass. While it doesn't allow rewriting, it allows storing at a much smaller scale within glass. Meaning that could change how we store things for years. Meaning we could store the entirety of a government's like records in a file cabinet of that. If they can learn to make it rewritable, PC building will become even cheaper, more efficient. There's so many other things, and it's like, it's just so cool. There's just so much cool stuff that we have learned and been able to experience in our lives. And it's like, holy crap. I know through deep sea diving, deep sea technology, around South America, they have found the biggest deep ocean coral reef and have learned so much about its like overall impact, etc., that it is likely there are so much that the deep sea could be way more flourishing than we realize, which is insanely awesome. And it's just like, it really shows that our world as a whole is so much different than we thought. And it's so cool. Like, it's genuinely insane. Because it's like, all of this stuff that we thought, nah, that would never happen, or no, this is impossible. We're learning that more of it's possible than we thought. So if you ever feel like shit isn't doing well or stuff isn't good, there is good going out on the world. And there is a lot of it that we just don't always know about. We've seen endangered species start to repopulate. We've seen wild horses return to Chernobyl, one of the only wild horse species left. Like, it's insane. But it also makes me really happy. Large potions. Okay. Like, there's just a lot as a whole. And it gives me hope. Because whether we realize it or not, there is good change happening. Not just bad change. I dropped something. That's annoying. I don't know where it went. I'm gonna find it later, and I'm gonna, like, step on it, and it's gonna hurt like hell when I find it. Wait, never mind, there it is. Had to feel around with my foot to find it. Acid pool. Then we'll get lead to gold. But yeah, the fact that, like, we have actual species of animals returning to Chernobyl is actually kind of cool. It just kind of shows how much it's changed. From the mushrooms that can eat radiation to the animals retaking the land with the nature as well. It really shows that even once we're gone, like, even if humans weren't here, the world would find a way. I know there is so much more as well, and it's like, it gives me a bit of happiness knowing that in the end, no matter what, there's always something good that will come of it. Even if we don't always see it. Things can heal. Just because something is broken doesn't mean it can't fix. It may take months, years, decades, but in the end, things can heal. And Chernobyl's probably one of the best examples. Where we've seen nature at its finest. Able to eat radiation, to reclaim the land, to bring back species that are once rare to numbers only seen in captivity. And if that doesn't say something, I don't know what does. Because there is a lot. Don't worry, we'll have enough ninjas. And 6. Seven. 8. Possibly 9? Yes. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 'kay. And then, boom. I'm just gonna get a bunch of shinobi tactics and make this guy even stronger. I just want to make sure they don't miss their shots, preferably. Okay. Got 6 shinobis. The fact that that doesn't work hurts. Boom. And... boom. Ah. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. The fact that I'm 2 off, though, is what hurts. Because I can't put any here.
Get ready to feast.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2... 3, 1, and 2, and 3. This ninja is gonna attack so fast. What if I put this here? Nope. I'd need to give it more range, but can't exactly do that. Not easily, at least. Then what I can do is this. And then we are so close. If I do this, actually... oh, I can't fit it there. Okay, and then I can do Alluring Melody. I love how I'm creating, like, the most disgusting ninja. Like, in general. If I can get the final harmonic, it'd be insane. As well as Grandmaster Ninja, but I won't be able to get both. What's this guy's range? Not big enough. This guy's going to just shred him. This is great. So beautiful. This guy has so much range. It's just a wall of shurikens. Like, Jesus Christ. The best part is I could probably make it even stronger. I might go for the final harmonic just because it's funnier. Because it will increase the power of it. The balloons do not make it far. Like, in general, the balloons do not make it far. There we go, we just make it 8. Then I can move this a little bit farther down. Perfect. And we are about to get the final harmonic. Okay. We're almost there. There we go, more buff. The best part is I could buff it more with Lord of the Abyss. So I could make it even freaking stronger. You know, it makes me wonder what the max amount you can get on something is now. Because there is a lot of buffs. I definitely should do it with a friend. That'd be a fun idea. Because we need a list of every single thing first, so that we can do it in order. Craziest part is I actually have a list of stuff. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I wonder if someone would actually watch a silent stream of just a stream doing, like, just balloons popping from, like, this game. I can almost guarantee there'd be enough people that would just be like, ah, as it's in the background. I can guarantee it. I mean, the internet's weird enough that we've literally had a top Twitch stream in the past be watching paint dry. I wish I was shitting you. Like, that is the type of world we live in. But it's hilarious. Because, yeah, the Lord of the Abyss one is even greater. I honestly like the Mermonkey a lot. Do 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 do. There we go. That was easy. Okay, so next up, double HP Moabs. I think for half cash, what I should do is I should just make it like only insta monkeys Just for fun.
This is my territory.
Gonna probably want a Moab glue. Sorry, that's what it sounds like for me whenever this guy's shooting. Just... I also need to level this guy up more. Just in general. Because I have quite a bit of insta-monkeys. The Moabs? The Moabs. The Moabs will be a bit of a problem, though. I really should try to go the furthest round I can one day, just for fun. Just to see what happens.
More.
I should get increased production. Go top path instead. At the start. But hindsight's 20/20. Ah. I will say, I love this. Just watching the balloons go pop, pop, pop. It's satisfying. Okay. Pop, pop. Do. I know what I must do. I must biblical level of greed this. I'm gonna need hot shot for leads. I placed that wrong. There we go. Had to move it down a little bit. Okay. Boom. Oh. There we go. Marketplace. And then we will get our next marketplace. Just take some time. And marketplace numero dos. And then the third. I'm gonna need to worry about the Moab, though. But I know how to take care of that easily. I think you can already see what I'm doing with it. Biblical levels of greed.
Get ready to feast.
Boop boop. And then I can get this.
More.
I'm just greeding out right now. This is great. And then bum 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 bum. Making all that money back.
Get ready to feast.
Relentless glue. The greed. It grows. It festers. It becomes one. Boom. We are slowly making our way. Is this a bit too much? Probably. I'm just making more and more money. I'm gonna be rich. And the thing is, I'm dealing enough damage. Yes. 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 Perfect. The fact that I can do that now. This is just stupid levels of money at this point for me. Do I need to keep doing this? No. Am I? Yes. There we go. You know what? Because why not? I'm just gonna make this. I could get some central markets as well. I could do that. Yeah, let's do that. Boom. Because that'll also boost those by 10%. And then faster throwing. I'm making a lot of money. Boom. And I'll be able to get the next one soon. Very soon. Okay. Does this only affect magic monkeys? Okay, yeah. Just double checking. This should be having more uptime. I'm setting those to strong, so they'll take care of these two as soon as possible. Then I can get this. Oh shit, yeah, I forgot it's gonna do that. Could put another one. Just make sure that they're all buffed up. This is where I just sell everything here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do something really funny. Okay, it already sold, then. Yeah, I get rid of these.
Get ready to feast. Run this one down.
I don't think I'll be able to make enough, but still fun to think about. Oh my god, I actually can. Paragon on round 77.
More.
Just casually. Balloons who? Quincy. You don't need to do anything. Do.
Leave none standing. Wake up. Faster.
I forgot the one thing. My one weakness. Camos. If only camos weren't my weakness. At least this guy's doing his best. Anyways. Now for half cash. Yay. Challenge here is only instas. Who do I even have that would help? What do I have in here? And I'll allow upgrading of them, but... Okay. But even then, it's only going to do so much. But, like, whichever has the most here on, like, the number, I have to upgrade that pathway. I can't choose the pathway, and then I can get a cross path. I think that's a good way to do it. So, like, if I had to take this wizard, like, and put it here, it has to go, like, all the way to the bottom, and then I can do 2 to the middle. I think that's a good way to do it. Makes it more interesting. No. Just slowly saving up for Shimmer. Actually, I should probably get Wall of Fire first. That'll be good for us. Okay. We're doing pretty good here. We should be fine. Okay. What is this? Okay, that's important. Okay. I should probably reply to that. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna need to deal with that. Oh boy. I love when I get messages about things. Yay. I'll take care of that as soon as I can. It shouldn't be too much of a problem, but... I still want to try and black border this map, though. But yeah, just a important message. Which shouldn't be too much of a problem. I just will need to take care of it later. Yay, adulting. It's always when you get those specific messages that are like, why? Okay. We're almost around 40. We'll have to deal with a Moab. What did I even bring out? How about this? Every 20 rounds, we get a different tower. So we start with one, we got one on round 20, and we get one for round 40. I think that's another good way to do this as well. So then we'll have to wait to round 60 for another. That was accidental. I have to sell. If I fuck it up, it has to be sold. I think I want it here instead. Okay. Let's see. how am I gonna do this? Who do I even want to upgrade next? Probably the Super Maelstrom. That'd probably be the best one to upgrade. Do, 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 do. Because, yeah, then I can use my ability more, and it will be stronger. Plus, the actual attack shooter will be stronger in general, but that's besides the point. Okay. Though we are almost around 60, meaning we get another tower. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Okay, let's do this a bit differently. We have to do this a bit differently. And to make sure we use up the money we got, I'll just... I know that's a lot more than what we spent, but... Okay. Perfect. Then I can use it here. Boom. Do, 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 do. I want to save my ability for when we need it, mainly. Okay. And I can collect this whenever it goes off. Yeah, I can take down a normal Moab pretty fine. And there goes that. We're close to getting the Super Maelstrom. Which should be pretty nice. Because, yeah, now I can just... Yeah, that does a lot. And overall, it does improve the tack shooter, as you can see. And I believe it also allows it to pop leads as well, if it can't already. Round 60, here's our next one. Gotta go for this, and then we'll get faster firing. This is a very interesting little strategy we got here. Okay, no, it doesn't anymore, I guess. Thought it did. Might be thinking of a different thing. I am gonna want to get a supply drop, though, just for, like, the increased ability strength. Good thing I can actually do this instead, so you guys can actually see. Okay, we're doing pretty good here. I can handle Moabs a lot easier now. There we go. Look at that. Forcing our strategy to be built around certain monkeys like this is kind of interesting. Definitely led to some interesting choices. Bum, bum, bum. Definitely won't need to use the ability for this. So that's at least nice. Got some BFB. I mean, just look at that. We are doing so well. Do 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 do. And I'll just take care of this. My doggos. I can guarantee she's barking at nothing important. Otherwise, the other dogs would be barking too. That's how I know how important it is if all of them are barking, or if it's just Athena. So it gets very annoying. Just to make sure. Okay, we're doing pretty good. Okay, let's see. No. There we go. Then I can just do a bit of that. Nice. I'm gonna wait until it's, like, on top of the tack shooter. Because then it will take damage from multiple blades at once. Boom. That was an easy half cash. Now we just have medium left. Do 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 do. We'll just place Quincy and just let it roll. I guess I'll place this guy like there. Make it a triple dart. Then anything that gets past, he can take care of a bit. Do 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 do. Okay, so just in general, I kind of got a few ideas of what I'm gonna do here. Okay. I mean, it's only medium. Like, at this point, we can really just kind of chill out. Not have to worry. Relax. Apocalypse will probably be the most annoying, but even then, that shouldn't be too bad. Okay, let's see. What do I want to go for? Go for Mermonkey. Doopa 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 doopa. Do 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 do. Getting close to Riptide Champion. Do 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 do. You know, I'm just thinking about it. I need to do some, like, Necrocells and stuff later today. I'll just wait till my friends get on. Then I'll do some of those. Yay. I'm gonna try and finish this black border, and then I'll probably end off stream once I finish the black border. Just because then I can take care of what was messaged earlier, but... even then. Do 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 do. Okay, so I mean, tidal wave. The Riptide Champion should be pretty useful. What I'm actually gonna do as well, though, is next to him I'm gonna put an Abyss Dweller. So that we can give him some more Pierce. Because I feel like that Pierce will be very useful. Abyss Dweller. And then I can try and get some more Echo Sense Network. Get an alluring melody as well. Stuff like that. Okay, actually, it doesn't get much until it's max level. So I'm actually just gonna get some more Echo Sense networks. There we go. Because, yeah, now he'll have a bunch more range. Which should help. Because, yeah, with the extra range, he should be able to do a bit more. Same with this guy. I could go for Abyssal Warrior for even more Pierce. Make the Riptide Champion a Pierce King. Could work. Maybe. We'll just have to see, I guess.
Get ready to feast.
I mean, in general, we're doing pretty nice. God, that is so satisfying to watch. Just all of the balloons getting frozen in a row like that as the wave goes over them. Truly beautiful. Doo-ba-doo, doo-ba-doo. Okay. And Arctic Knight. We got true power. Let me just... see if... There we go. Now it's maxed out. It's just make him even stronger with MIB. And the jungle drums. He'll shoot faster, he'll hit everything. Stuff like that. There we go. Do, 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 do. Isn't it supposed to bounce off the walls? Or am I just crazy? Dink, dink, tink, dink. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Doo-ba-doo. Well, it's almost over. Do 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 do. And there we go. We're earning quite a bit. Now we can do military only, which will be pretty quickly just over with. I'm gonna get a submerge and support so that I can see camos with this guy, because I'm gonna go for a top path with middle path. It should be able to take care of everything just fine. Bunk, bunk. You know, it's kind of crazy to think how old some of the games I've played are. It's just insane. What a time to be alive. Okay. You know, it's funny my microphone can pick up my whispers, but because of how I have my audio stuff set up so it doesn't like pick up too much of my like smaller sounds, because it can pick up some pretty quiet sounds. Like, it will sometimes pick up me drinking water when, so I have to like turn it down a little so it's like you guys don't have to hear my drinking sounds, because I feel like that's probably pretty weird. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Do 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 ba do 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 do. Just wanna get a destroyer so that we can easily breeze through the rest of this. Boom, 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 boom. Apocalypse is gonna be more annoying than anything, just because there's gonna be a lot of balloons, etc. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Just waiting for a bit more money to get the reactor. Do 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 do. Boom. There we go. We should be good for now. I can always give it more pierce if I really wanna. Or, like, lead detection. There we go. That'll actually do a lot more. Doopa 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 doop. Doopa 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 boop ba-doop boop ba-da 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 boop ba-doop boop ba-da 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 boop ba-da ba-da boop 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 ba-da ba-da boop 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 ba-da 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 boop ba-doop boop 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 ba-da boop 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 ba-da ba-da boop boop. Just look at us, we're doing great. Do 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 do. Moab went by quick. Once we get the aircraft carrier, it'll be ogre. It'll be able to handle everything else easily. Because those planes help a lot. I could go for carrier flagship if I get the money, but I don't think I do, so... Do 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 do. Okay. We're just doing this so much easier than we could have. It takes a bit, but we're making it. It's just kind of nice relaxing to this music and stuff. Just quite calming. Dooba-doo-boo. Dooba-dooba-doo. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. We've gotten stronger still. This is working surprisingly well. Anyways, we're almost done. Thankfully. Yay. We'll do reverse next because that one will be a quick one and done type thing. I'm actually going to do something weird. Yum 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 yum. Just nom 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 nom. Chomp 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 chomp. This is working surprisingly well. Oh god, no! The Orca will definitely help. It does its own thing. Okay, we're almost, there we go. We'll get the Atosaurus to maxed, and then we'll go for the Orca stuff. Because, yeah, at max, it can drag down ZOMGs. Not that it matters, but it will be faster. That's what really matters, is the speed. Boop, boop, boo-doo-doo. Barracuda. Doop, 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 doop. Doop, 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 doop. Doop, 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 doo, doo, doo. Doo, doo. Doop, doo, 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 doo. Doo, doo, doo. Doo, doo, doo. Doopa doopa ba doopa ba 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 da ba 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 ba. Do 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 da 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 ba-da-dum ba-da-dum do 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 do. We'll just have a wizard back here. He exists as a backup. He exists for nothing else than backup. Fish. 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 We need more fish. Okay. Hmm. Nom 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 nom. And then I could just start doing some of this. Doop, 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 doop. This is actually working surprisingly well. Doop, 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 boop, boop. This is actually working really well. Boom. Dragon's breath. So I can just go boom. Oh yeah, camo purples will be a problem. We'll get a ninja as well. That should help. Make sure it's bloon jitsu. And then boom. Now I don't need to worry anymore. Do 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 do. I wish camo detection worked normally on the Beast Handler. It'd make life a lot easier. But it doesn't. Sometimes you just don't get that lucky. I mean, this orca is just doing its best. Which is pretty good. At least. I just know round 60 is gonna come and go like just a snap of my fingers. That's how it always seems to happen with this guy. And it's over. That was extremely easy. We'll get a bomb shooter this time. And now, for the final one for Black Border. Apocalypse.
This is my turn.
Okay. I could bring out a farm, but I don't really care too much. Do I have anything interesting I could use? Actually, I should buy a few of those. Anyways. By slowing the balloons, it should allow for a bit more use. Actually, I could do one better here. I just did the wrong thing again. Because I'm going to go for a balloon solver. What do I have for villages? Wow. Damn. Not a lot. What about for glue gunners? I can get some of the money back, but not that matters much. Who will really be useful here is, do I have any of him? Not really. Then I can put this here. I know it will reach him eventually. So I'll just have to leave it. But we can easily take this down. It'll just take some time. Because once I get rubber to gold, I'll start making so much money so quickly. Come on. Boom. Dink, ba-dink, 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 ba-dink. If I can get camo detection as well, ooh, that'd be amazing. That'd allow for even more money to be made. Get jungle drums. That helps him as well, so. Boo doo boo, boo doo, boo doo, boo doo ba doo ba doo. Yeah, the money is starting to come in a lot faster, too. I could either go for Balloon Dissolver or Primary Mentoring. I think Primary Mentoring would be good first so this guy can actually get his thing. Boom. Huge start. I can give him more Pierce with this guy, but I know he'll get a lot Bloon Solver. Balloon Dissolver, then Liquefier, then Balloon, and then Balloon Solution. Yeah. The good old Balloon Solver. Do 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 do. Ba-ding, 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 ba-ding. That alchemist is doing his best. And it's freaking amazing. Do 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 do. Almost to the Balloon Solver. And then everything's over. As soon as we hit the Balloon Solver. And we win. The Balloon Solver is just a win for this one. It shreds the balloons. Like, in general, it is so powerful. I'm actually surprised at how close I actually got in terms of time. I thought it would be, we'd be done. I thought we'd be done around like 45. Just like 10 minutes earlier, almost. Not bad, actually. Getting better about time predicting with this game. Primary expertise. Easy. And that is the new map black bordered. All our beginner maps are black bordered. And then our intermediate maps are kind of mixed and matched, which we'll just have to do in our own time. But overall, for those who aren't, I still need to go and deal with the message from earlier. Exclamation mark Dislab in the chat where you have the Discord, and exclamation mark YouTube where we have the VOD channel. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. CST. The days I do not stream, videos come up on the VOD channel. We have all sorts of stuff over there, so if you miss something over here, you will eventually see it on the VOD channel. Be it Minecraft, Terraria, Bloons, Okami, Warframe, etc. Either way, I hope you all have wonderful weekends.